Let's start our review by going over number 1 from our review sheet. This problem, we have to add two fractions, but we also have to use the conjugate to simplify them first. So either you can look at these two fractions as separate problems, so this could be a problem and this could be a problem, and add them at the end, or you can work through the problem together, multiplying each by the conjugate and getting to the end and adding. Whichever method that works best for you does not matter, as long as you get the right answer in the end. So we know that we will have to multiply the top and bottom of the first equation by the conjugate of the bottom, and multiply the top and bottom of the second equation by this conjugate of this bottom. So that means when we have 1 over 1 minus the square root of 5, we will have to multiply the top and bottom of that by 1 plus the square root of 5 and 1 plus the square root of 5. So let's treat these like two separate problems and then add them in the end. So here, 1 times anything is just itself. So on the top, we have 1 plus the square root of 5. And on the bottom, we know that two conjugates FOILed together, the middle two terms will cancel, and we will only have the first and the last terms. So 1 times 1 is 1. Negative square root of 5 times positive square root of 5 is a negative whole 5. So that can simplify too. The top stays the same. In the bottom, 1 minus 5 is negative 4. Now something similar happens with the second fraction. We still have 1 over 1 plus the square root of 5. So this time when we multiply the conjugate, our conjugate is 1 minus the square root of 5. Be careful that you are changing the sign of the problem that you are working on. What we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. Again, 1 times anything is just itself, so our numerator is 1 minus the square root of 5. Over two conjugates multiplied together, the middle two terms in our FOILing process will cancel out. We have 1 times 1 is 1. Positive square root of 5 times negative square root of 5 is a negative whole 5. So when we simplify this, we have 1 minus the square root of 5 over negative 4. Now these two problems are very similar, but they are different, and we do need to make sure that we add them. So to finish out this problem, we'd have 1 plus the square root of 5 over negative 4 plus 1 minus the square root of 5 over negative 4. Now be careful when you're adding fractions here. Note that we know that if we add 1/2 plus 1/2, we would have 2 halves. Notice that we added the top, but the bottom stayed the same. Same thing will happen over here. We will add the top, 1 plus the square root of 5 plus 1 minus the square root of 5 over the bottom stays the same. That will be a negative 4. Now when we add the top, we look at like terms. We have a 1 and a 1, and a square root of 5 and a square root of 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. Positive square root of 5 and negative square root of 5 will cancel each other out to make 0. Negative 4 on the bottom, so this can simplify to a negative 1/2. That is our final answer for this problem.